Good evening. Welcome back to Goan Law for the Layman. In the last video, we discussed the two types of wills in the state of Goa, that is public wills and secret wills. Now, as unique as these wills are, the provisions that govern them are also equally unique. So, in this video, we're going to discuss all the unique provisions that govern public and secret wills in the state of Goa. So, let's dive in. You see, the right of a person to make a will is an extremely important right, and the Goan law takes care of this right. How does it do that? Now, you might be aware of real life situations where a person in his old age or in his disability is being restrained by his family, friends, or relatives from making a will altogether. If you're aware of any such case, then you are entitled to make a complaint to the police, and the police is duty bound to visit this person along with the registrar and two other witnesses and inquire whether this person is genuinely being restrained from making a will. And if that is the situation, then the police has to set him free and enable him to make a will. And not only that, the persons who have been illegally restraining him from making a will are liable to be criminally prosecuted. You see, another important provision under the Goan law is that wills have to be compulsorily registered before the registrar. So if you remember the last video, we discussed whether it's a public will or it's a secret will, the will has to be executed before the registrar in the presence of two witnesses. Now, the logic behind this is that the law wants the registrar to ensure that the person executing the will is, number one, in his sound state of mind. Number two, he is not under any kind of pressure or undue influence. So the registrar is duty bound to ensure these two facts and only then register the will. So if the registrar is suspicious about the person's mental stability, then he can refuse to make the will, to register the will, or he can insist on a certificate issued by a doctor certifying the mental fitness of this person to make the will. So only then the registrar will register the document. Secondly, witnesses who are present at the time of execution of the will, they are valid witnesses only if they do not get any benefit from the will. This is also a provision made to ensure that the will is not under any kind of pressure or duress. So witnesses who are present cannot enjoy any share in the will, and if they do, then the will is also invalid. So after following this entire procedure of the will is registered, then the will enjoys a special presumption under the law such that it is extremely difficult to dislodge the will on the ground that the person was mentally unstable or that he was under any kind of pressure, because the law presumes that these two facts have been taken care of by the registrar. This reminds me of one of the interesting cases that I had handled during the junior days of my professional career. You see, a person who was a restaurant owner, he died leaving behind the restaurant to some relatives. He did not have any children. He bequeathed his restaurant and all his properties to XYZ, three relatives of his. And after he died, leaving behind that will, two nephews came into the picture and they challenged this will on the ground that this person was suffering from senile dementia, which is a psychological disorder, and that he was incapable of making that will, and that these relatives XYZ, they took advantage of his mental condition and took all the properties to their name. So they challenged the will in court, and the psychiatrists were examined on both sides. Interestingly, the psychiatrist who appeared for the nephews, he gave evidence describing what senile dementia is. And basically what he said was a person suffering from senile dementia is so mentally disabled that he can't carry out his day-to-day functions and he has to be supervised throughout the day. He is in fact so disabled he can't even recognize people that he has known for years together. So this was the evidence given by the nephews. And interestingly, the evidence that came on record from the other side was that till his very last day, this person who died was sitting at the counter, cash counter of that restaurant and billing people and making calculations. So the entire theory of senile dementia fell apart. But the interesting point to be discussed here is that throughout the judgment, what the court appreciated was that this will was executed before the registrar, and the registrar is duty bound to ensure that the person is mentally fit and his consent is free. So it is deemed under the law, or it is presumed under the law, that once it is registered, that these two things have been taken care of. So this was appreciated and the suit was dismissed. Another interesting provision of law is that wills in Goa, if they are executed by a married person, they require the consent of the spouse of the person for any kind of bequest that is making. So what they do is they have to execute what is known as a deed of consent. Both the will and the deed of consent have to be executed simultaneously. In the will, the person bequeaths his properties, and in the deed of consent, the spouse confirms that she has no objection, he or she has no objection towards that bequest. And finally, the most important provision we have to keep in mind while making wills is the disposable quota of a person. The estate of a person is divided into two categories. One is called the non-disposable quota and the other is called the disposable quota. The disposable quota is 50% of the estate which the person is at absolute liberty to dispose of by way of a gift or a will or any which ways that he pleases. The remaining 50% is reserved for the children or the close family members as the case may be, and therefore it cannot be transferred by way of a gift or a will, and this is called as the non-disposable quota. So whenever a person makes a gift or a will, it has to be restricted to 50% of his estate, which is the disposable quota. If it exceeds the disposable quota, then that portion which is more than the 50%, that is that portion which comes in the way of the compulsory share of the children, that is invalid and it has to be reserved for the children. So if a person gets a will in which more than 50% of the estate is being bequeathed, then the person has to reduce the bequest and give it back to the children. This is called as the doctrine of reduction. So while making a will, you have to keep in mind that the bequest which is being made cannot exceed the disposable quota. So those are the 4 special provisions with regards to wills in the state of Goa. Do you have any queries? Post them in the comment section below. There will be plenty of videos coming your way, so subscribe to the channel to stay in the loop. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.